So, hey everyone, we are Rakshan and Vignesh, and today we are sharing the technical overview of the project, which we'll be building soon. And then,
So we've been planning something that mixes the real world use with solid computer science background, and that's when we came up with a project called LawOrbit.
so moving on to the core concepts and some of the workflow of how our app works. LawOrbit is basically a legal case management app, but under the hood, it's a multi-layered system built using modern software engineering practices.
So the workflow goes like this: the user logs into the app, and then he interacts with a Flutter front end,
Yeah.
and that triggers an API call. So the backend will validate everything after that, and it retrieves or updates the data which is stored in our database, and then finally it sends a response back instantly. So imagine a lawyer opening the app, checking the assigned cases. The request goes to the backend, which filters the cases based on the lawyer's user ID.
Yeah.
So similarly, if a client uploads a document, it gets stored in our backend. It gets stored in our database, and the metadata is also added to our database. And all of this happens in milliseconds through the API workflow.
Yeah. So, and we are making sure that the app handles concurrency and real-time updates and some of proper state management so that the user experience feels smoother.
So, coming to the tech stack and the architecture used in our project and app. So, technically, LawOrbit follows like a three-layer architecture. So the first layer is the Flutter mobile front end, in which we'll be using the proper state management. We'll be using proper state management, maybe a provider or a river pod to handle UI, caching, and user sessions.
And then the second layer is the REST API backend, which is very important. We want clean endpoints like login cases, documents, hearings, and etc. So each endpoint will have validations, authentication checks, and business logics. So only the correct roles access the correct data.
Yeah, so coming to the third layer, and that is the database layer. So we'll be using MySQL for
Yeah.
storing the structured data, and structured data like users, cases, hearings, documents, and more data like that. And also we'll be using MongoDB for audit logs, since logs are unstructured and they go very fast and they grow fast. And this gives us strong consistency plus scalability
Yeah.
to
For large log data.
Yeah.
And then we'll go into modules and how the workflow is going on our app. So our system is divided into modules like user management, case management, hearing management, then document tracking and notes. So each module has its own workflow. For example, case management workflow, admin creates a case and he assigns it to a lawyer or client. So the case is added to the dashboard. Then timeline updates track every action. So for document tracking, the workflow is like upload and then we will encrypt it,
And then
then we'll
store.
store and save metadata and notify the lawyer.
So we'll be adding document versioning so that the older version of the documents which are uploaded by the users are still available for the users, and this will be a really helpful feature for accessing the lost documents.
And hearing management ties into notifications. Once a hearing is added or updated, the server pushes reminders using cloud messaging.
So coming to the next
Yeah.
section, that is the security and the
Very
data handling,
important session.
and
Yeah.
performance. So security is a big part of our app, as we all know. We'll be using JSON Web Tokens for authentication, and that means that the user stays logged in without storing any sensitive data on their device. So we'll be using bicrypt hashing also, and you can explain more, yeah?
Yeah, so we'll be using bicrypt hashing for passwords and role-based access control so that lawyers, clients, clerks, and admins all see different screens and permissions.
Yeah, so and also to improve performance, we'll add indexing for fields like case number, hearing date, and user email. This speeds up the dashboard filters and search queries.
Yeah. And since people may use the app on the go, so we are planning basically offline catching using SQLite inside the app. So essential data loads even without the internet. Yeah.
So coming to the application area and the conclusion finally. So LawOrbit is a great app for lawyers, law firms, legal interns, and even clients who just want updates without
Yeah.
any confusion. So it turns the messy paperwork into a structured and clean, organized digital system.
Yeah, so we are excited about building this because it covers everything from front end design to API development and database engineering,
Authentication.
authentication, and some of the role based security and some cloud storage. So it's basically a full stack end to end computer science project.
So that's it. So thank you guys for watching and stay tuned for updates as we start building our LawOrbit app.
Thank you guys.